So even in that degree, you still got to be that guy. You got to be comfortable being better than niggas. Like, you need to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and just tell yourself, bro, I'm really better than you niggas. And it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not. All seriousness, I'm better than you niggas. You need to become comfortable with being that guy, being the king, being the dude. Like, when I walk into gyms, I get my pump, I'm looking good. I don't got a pump right now, but if I did, you guys would be mesmerized. That's why I try not to come in here looking too jacked, because I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying and not just, you feel me? But I walk into the gym, I got a pump, and I feel all these eyes on me. I feel all these people looking at me. I see people looking at me, like I'll catch them, make eye contact. You know what I tell myself? I'm like, well, who the fuck else are they gonna look at? I walk in here, 6'1", tall, dark, and handsome, looking like a Greek god. Of course they're gonna look at me. But you see, I'm comfortable in that position. I understand that when I go out and about, people are gonna look at me. Like, when my hair is already kind of like crazy. But imagine this, get low, but like 6 real small ones. And just like they're going all over the place. That's how my hair used to be. And I think that's what really got me into not giving a fuck and being comfortable being looked at, being comfortable being that guy. But this goes further than just being looked at. We can take this to a sense of, like, let's say you're at work and there's a new position open, but it's going to be a lot more work. But you're going to get paid more. And I have this situation at my job because you can, like, I'm a delivery driver, and like the bigger trucks you get, obviously the more you get paid, the more shit you got to take out. And people will like turn down raises, or turn down moving up because they don't want to do more work. I'm like, well, I'm that guy. I have no problem doing more work. Shit, if I don't do it, then who gonna do it? And then I see people that are already in this position. I'm like, they're doing it easy. They come here every day, do the same shit. And like, if they can do it, why the fuck can't I? You see, I had this problem which I don't know if it's a problem, but I think you have to recognize what sort of person you are. And I'm very, very comfortable being a number 2 guy. Matter of fact, I would prefer to be a number 2 guy. Like, a number 2 guy in something that's like very successful, something that's succeeding. Like, I don't necessarily care to be famous, or to be the face of a brand, or to be the face of a company. I'd much rather be one of the top guys at the company. Because people don't understand the pressure of being the guy, of being the number 1 guy. But with that being said, it's something I realized that, like, if I want to even get in a position to where I could even be a number 2 to a top guy, then I probably have to already be an A1 number 1 guy. So I got to get comfortable with the idea of being the boss. Matter of fact, I like that. Comfortable with the idea of being the boss. Because it is a bit of an uncomfortable feeling to know, like, the decisions are on you. You know what I'm saying? If this fails or succeeds, it's your fault. But we need to be okay with taking that responsibility. Because you got to realize, bro, like I keep saying, bro, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? You got to be okay. Like, if something comes up, there's an opportunity to speak. Put it that way. It's a big crowd of people. Matter of fact, I remember I was at a funeral. Sorry, that was a little bit all over the place. But I was at a funeral, and it was for a friend that passed away. And I had never really done much public speaking before. And I would say I was friends with this person, but we weren't like super close. I had just recently met them, like, through mutual friends. But they had a section in the funeral where like people were able to come up and speak. And I was like, why shouldn't I speak? Why not? You know, I feel like I had things to say. And as you guys can see, I like to speak. I have this YouTube channel. So I'm like, fuck it. Let me go up there and speak. Never really spoke in front of a crowd that size before. But I went up there and did my thing. Because I had to be comfortable in that position of being the guy that people are looking at, being the guy that people are relying on. See, that's what happens when you become a father or a head of a household. You are now that guy that is looked upon. Like, if there was ever a situation back when I was staying with my parents, is let's say someone came into the house, broke into the house. It was me, my mom, my stepdad, and my little sisters. How crazy would it be if me or my stepdad, we were the first ones to hide? Especially my stepdad in that case, because, you know, he's the man of the house at that point. It would be wild. It'd be ludicrous. As a man, he's expected to step up into this position and take control of the situation. We can go into smaller examples. Like when you are with a girl, and I used to have a problem where like, I wanted her to decide shit. Like, oh, you never know where you want to eat. Oh, you never know what you want to wear. You never know where we want to go, what you want to do today. It's like, fuck it, I'll decide. I'll decide everything. Like, no problem. If a decision is given to me, fuck it, I will decide. I will make a choice. If a choice needs to be made, no problem. I'm the dude. I will get it done. If I got to fucking flip a coin, it doesn't matter. But you got to get comfortable in making all these small decisions. That's how it started. That's how it started for me. Is that anytime a decision is like in the air, like you're in a group of people or you're with a girl or like you're just with your family and it's like, oh, you know, should we do this or that? Fucking decide. Just make a choice. And that's also a trait of very successful people is that they make decisions. They come to decisions quickly. And the thing is, it can be the wrong decision, which is cool, but you made a decision. And here's the thing is that the quicker you make a decision, the quicker you can find out if it was the wrong decision. And now you can go ahead and change courses and go back in the other direction or go in a completely new direction. Another thing with the YouTube, I had decided to myself, like, okay, why can't I make a YouTube channel? Why can't I be that guy? Why can't I form a business off the back of this? Why? And I even seen it in the people that I was targeting. That sounds a little malicious. I guess it was a little malicious in a sense, but it's just competition. But I had these channels that I was looking at when I had first started, like, oh, I can get there. I can get to that point. And very quickly I was able to catch up to them. But these were channels with like 500 subscribers, 400 subscribers, 600 subscribers. Like, I want to say it was reasonable, which I guess in a sense, everything can be reasonable. But how much better would I have been if I just would have went ahead and put my sights on the guys that have 500,000, 1,000,000 subs, 100,000, whatever the case is. Like, those are the guys I'm aiming for now. Because I just don't see why I couldn't be that sort of dude. Like, I have ideas for, you know, building strong community and building up a network. I always thought like I would love to find these networks, but fuck it, why can't I make my fucking own? Why can't I be the trailblazer of this venture? Why can't I make my own network and then join forces with other networks? You know, you have to ask yourself these things. Like, why can't you make 10,000 a month? Why can't you make 100,000 a month? Why can't you make 1,000,000 a month? And I think many people are just uncomfortable being that guy. Because there's going to be a lot of pressure that comes with that. Like everyone sees it as, oh, it's just this great thing of being successful or having all the eyes on you or being a highly accomplished individual. There's a lot of downsides that come with that as well, because now you're a target. People know what you got. You know, I come on this camera and I just speak. So now people are in my head. People know a bit more of my personal life than I previously would have liked. You know, I'm actually not very much a social media dude. I don't like social media. I like YouTube because it's more long form content. And I feel like I learned a lot from YouTube. Like I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for YouTube. So I really like YouTube. All the other social medias, Instagrams, TikToks, you know what I'm saying, Twitters and all that, I'm not a big fan of. And that's mainly just because like I think it's ruining our minds. But that's a different topic. But two, it's just like I'm not one for the limelight. I don't really care for it. But if I have to step up and get in that position, put the target on my back, put myself out there, allow myself to be vulnerable, then I have to do that. It's what's required in this period of life. Now, this is a tangent for anyone that's made it this far. I'm probably going to start making some of these videos a bit longer because sometimes I watch them back and I just realize I didn't get everything I need to say in. And maybe that's a way to also separate myself from a lot of the other self-improvement kind of channels. I think that's the biggest kind of focus on this channel, self-improvement. I just don't believe there's a bigger thing that you can really do with your life than to simply improve it. And that goes into being the man. It's okay to get your life to a point where you cannot be denied. You're almost an undeniable entity. Like, you want to get to a point where when you walk into a room, it's undeniable that you're a successful individual. You look well, you're dressed well, you're in shape. Your body language is immaculate. Like when you speak to people, you know, you generate ideas. They can tell you're an intellectual person as soon as you open your mouth. All this stuff brings attention. You will be noticed in every room that you walk into. But that's okay. Because it's okay to be the guy, to be the king. You need to be comfortable sitting on the throne, having people come and answer to you. Like, at some point, you may have to become an actual boss. Like, when I was telling you guys I like to be the number 2 guy. When I used to play basketball, I prefer to be the number 2 guy. Like when Kyrie was on the Cavs, that seems like a A1 position to be in, bro. You're playing with one of the best players to ever play the game in LeBron James. And bro, you still hooping. Like you still an all-star. You're still an all-time great. You getting rings. But like, you know, you got that guy that, like, he can take over. But you're still that guy too. So if for whatever reason, you know, he wasn't able to get it going that night, then, you know, I step in or the Kyrie steps in. But even then, it's still got to be that guy. That's the number 2 guy. The number 2 guy to the number 1 guy, which means everyone else is below you. So even in that degree, you still got to be that guy. You got to be comfortable being better than niggas. Like, you need to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and just tell yourself, bro, I'm really better than you niggas. And it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not. All seriousness, I'm better than you niggas. And I'm saying that in terms of, like, that's how you need to think. When I look at anyone that's uber successful, they truly believe that they are amazing individuals. And people will call it cocky. People say these guys are arrogant. They got a huge ego. but they're successful and it's working for them. Because they just believe they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. There is no limits. When you are that guy, there is no limits to what you can do because you believe you can do anything. And there's no reason to believe that you can't. It doesn't serve you to believe that you are an inferior individual, that you are less than by any means. Anything that you have seen be accomplished is, by definition, proof that it can be accomplished. If they did it, you can do it. If it's been done, there's nothing stopping you from doing the same thing. But you just got to step into that role. Be comfortable being the king. Have the crown on your head. If that goes to, you need to upgrade your style or some shit, or just do something wild to constantly remind yourself that you were that guy, do it. Be comfortable standing out. Because if you're going to accomplish anything great, then obviously you have to stand out. To be a 1% sort of person, that means you have to be different than 99% of people. Like, it's almost always better to be loved or hated than to be ignored. And a lot of times you will be ignored because you just are afraid to put yourself out there. You're afraid to sit on the throne. You're afraid to call the shots. You're afraid to make orders. Bro, tell these niggas what to do. If niggas are in your way, tell them to move the fuck out the way. When you with a bitch and you chilling, tell her to make you a sandwich. But to start saying shit. Start walking in the essence of a king. You are the shot caller. People should look up to you because you were that guy. You put in the work. You've been down bad. You've gone through your trials and tribulations, and now you're figuring shit out. So you deserve to be that guy. You deserve to be the one to call the shots because you put in the work. You put in the time. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video. If you want one-to-one coaching or calls, link in the description. Doses.